So we ended off the last video, and I mean the last video on the channel, the Maple Leafs Habs analytical model video, saying that I was going to talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs and their scrimmage in the next video on the channel, which is this one. And yes, what a great way to introduce Vancouver Canucks fans to the topic by talking about the Maple Leafs. But before we get underway with that, thank you to those in the most previous Vancouver Canucks video who did comment chocolate rain, because that was our key word to get your entry into this video. Stick around to the end of this one for a chance to be featured in the next Canucks video, whenever that may be uploaded. But today we're talking about the Leafs and how the big media networks are in a position where they choose stuff that caters to one fan base and ticks the other fan base off. Yeah, we're talking about the Canucks scrimmage here. It happened last night. It was broadcasted on Twitter, and it was very fun to watch when it was actually on. We're going to go over what I saw, what I liked, things that I thought were interesting to talk about. But before we get into the actual gameplay, we need to establish why we're even talking about the Leafs. So, I personally didn't watch or listen to a big part of this Canucks scrimmage at the beginning, because at around 6:45 p.m. I was eating ramen, and the game, or at least the scrimmage for the Canucks, was at 7 p.m. Once we finished up and we got in the car, I was like, bro, oh crap, the Canucks scrimmage, it's already on, it's 7:15 p.m., bro, I missed it, what in the world? So I pulled up Twitter, and I went onto the Canucks Twitter page, and I saw them streaming. They were streaming the game, the scrimmage, and I clicked on it, and I was like, oh crap, okay, here we go, scrimmage, let's go, full screen, and there's no audio. Okay, I think it's a problem with my device. I turned the volume all the way up, I turned my silent mode on and then off again, trying to make it loud, and then it's like, oh, there's just no sound here. And then I look at the tweets that are underneath it, the people replying to this Canucks stream, and everybody was complaining, bro, why is there no sound? Come on, Canucks, come on, sync it up to 650 at least, what's going on here? And then I saw the other tweets talking about how, the Maple Leafs, man. The Toronto Maple Leafs yesterday had themselves what was a full-on scrimmage disguised as a game. They had a pre-game analysis done. They had the scoreboard on the screen. They broadcasted it nationally on Sportsnet and TSN, and they had the crowd effects, the goal horn, all that stuff. And it just looked so legit. And all the people that I saw replying to the Canucks stream on Twitter were like, why do the Maple Leafs get such a good product for their scrimmage? It's broadcasted on TV, for crying out loud, and the Canucks have a Twitter stream that doesn't even have any audio. What is this? And to that I say, you know what? There are a lot of people at the Canucks organization that end up losing their jobs, so they probably had to throw this together impromptu with a crew that might not have had too much time to prepare. But hey, you know, from my perspective, I was thinking, okay, some teams like the Senators, for example, their fans were complaining the entire past week, saying that, oh, you guys are getting mic'd up videos of Schmidt and Pettersson. Our guys are getting slow motion videos of them taking shots in practice. Yeah, try to see which one you'd rather get. And obviously, you know, I'm grateful for what the Canucks have had. It's just seeing what happened yesterday where Canucks Twitter was absolutely melting down because there wasn't a stream that was working until the start of the second period, where they finally synchronized everything and had the audio working. Yeah, it kind of just goes to show how crazy this fan base is. So, let's talk about what happened in the second period, because by that point I was actually home and I was actually watching. We had some very good performances from guys that I saw, like Olli Juolevi. This guy was out here doing his thing, communicating, he was loud, he was making his presence known, he was making some very good breakout passes, he was playing very well alongside of Tyler Myers. I think Olli Juolevi's making the team, man. I think he's going to be a part of this top six. We also had Nils Hoglander out there doing some very good things too. My gosh, this guy was out here setting up plays, making some plays, and dangling his way through. We'll talk a little bit more about Hoglander in the overtime. On the other side over there, though, for Team Blue, hey, the Lotto line, Boeser, Pettersson, Miller, these guys looked really good. Holy crap. Brock Boeser legitimately probably was one of the best players on the ice last night. He was going out there, he was trying to get shots, he was making plays. It's a different Brock, bro. This is a different version of Brock Boeser that we have seen compared to what we have had in the past. But yeah, you know, I love the Lotto line. I loved what Edler was able to do. Honestly, he looked really nice out there making some smart plays. And then we had a few other performances as well. Braden Holtby and Thatcher Demko both looked very good. They were both making a whole bunch of saves. They only allowed one goal at the end of regulation and overtime. And then we had also a whole bunch of other stuff to talk about because, hey, you know, in the second period, Oh man, Chase Howard-Luck. New Vancouver Canucks guy, and how fitting is it that the guy who has luck at the end of his last name is the newest victim of our tough Canucks luck. We've been cursed. He ends up taking an awkward fall off of a hit in the middle by Tyler Motte, and we'll talk about Tyler Motte as this video goes on, but he had to leave the game, he didn't come back, and, you know, I just hope that it's only one. You know, only one guy getting taken out by injuries in the scrimmages, and all of a sudden, oh my goodness, Jack Rathbone, he blocked a shot, and he's down. He is looking like he's in pain. It's Jake Virtanen who took the shot, and he picked the puck up afterwards, waltzed his way to the front of the net, backhanded it on goal, and Brandon Sutter was there on the doorstep to shove it in. But Jack Rathbone didn't actually have to leave the game like Howard-Luck did. I do believe I saw Rathbone a little bit later. Myers, at the end of the second period, had a weird moment where it looked like he was eventually going to be out, but he eventually came back as well. The third period is where things got pretty cool, too, because we had Tyler Motte and Adam Gaudette who were fighting for the puck along the boards, and Tyler Motte ended up sweeping the back of Gaudette's foot forward, slew-footing him, and they both went down. Afterwards, you saw them both trying to get back up. Tyler Motte gets up on his knees a little bit first, and he chops Gaudette's stick away. After that, Gaudette responds to the bell, they drop the gloves, they actually start fighting each other, like they're legit going, and I'm like, bro, it's a preliminary scrimmage, dude. How many jobs exist out there that you can actually say that fighting my own coworkers in a physical, fist to the dome kind of matter is a proper way of procedure? We saw a fight between Motte and Gaudette, and honestly, this was kind of Motte's fault, bro. Like, you can't be doing that, sorry. Like, the slew foot, really didn't like that. And then the chipping of the stick away after that. You could tell Motte had a big feisty attitude in this game, especially since he already had taken down Howard-Luck beforehand. But after that, we had ourselves a penalty shot because the fight happened. Tyler Myers took it, he just came and he slapped it down. It was Thomas Vanek style, and of course he missed. It was a lot more back and forth in the third period, and then towards the end of the third period, Elias Pettersson did a play that I really, really liked. It was a 1-1 tie. With a few seconds left in the third, Pettersson entered the offensive zone, and he noticed the rest of his guys were not with him. He was clobbered up 1-on-4, and so what did he do? He played the puck in front, played it to the opposing team's goaltender, and he skated to the goaltender and stopped right there. He forced the goalie to take it and freeze it, so he can get an offensive zone draw with 17 seconds left for his team to potentially gain possession and control the play from there. It was a very good, aware kind of play. And until Brendan Batchelor actually described it on the broadcast, I didn't actually click as to why he was doing that, but no, it was a very smart play there from PD, always showing why he is Elias Pettersson. Then in overtime, oh my gosh, we had the H-line, the Triple H-line, you know, it's time to play the game. Bo Horvat, Quinn Hughes, and Nils Hoglander going out there. Absolutely dazzling, bro. Holy crap. They could have scored like 3 times, but no. They were out there making some plays. Hoglander looks so good. So good. He's only 5'9", but man, this guy's incredible. We had ourselves some good highlights from Justin Bailey as well. He had scored previously in the game on a penalty shot, and he had some very nice momentum in overtime as well. And then, of course, you know what happens next, because it was all over social media. We had a shootout, and yeah, you know, the shootout was fun to watch. It was Nils Hoglander who went first, and the blue bench was, like, chirping him really hard, telling him to restart and everything. I'm gonna be honest, I think they kind of got under his nerves when they did that, but Elias Pettersson scores the only goal of the shootout. He comes in and absolutely rips it off the post and in. And then we had some shots over there from Horvat, Quinn Hughes, JT Miller also went as well, and none of them scored. So the Canucks ended up beating the Canucks 2-1 in a shootout. And, you know, I was very much a fan of what we saw here. We saw some competitiveness, we saw some grit, we saw some plays, we saw some very good chemistry between the guys we've had on the team before and the newer guys too. Olli Juolevi and Tyler Myers, hey, they play pretty well together, to be honest. Nils Hoglander in front with Bo Horvat and Tanner Pearson, yeah, they look really good. It's honestly kind of weird because I think Tanner Pearson was the worst player on that line, at least from my own judgment, because the guy kind of fanned on a few shots here and there. Louis Eriksson, man, he honestly wasn't terrible. Yeah, he wasn't terrible. He was honestly pretty okay, which is something that I'm interested in seeing if there's a development there. Sven Baertschi had some opportunities. He looked all right. Jack Rathbone was there. Jet Wu made some very good plays once in a while. It's just going to be difficult because we have like 40 guys who are actually suiting up and playing, so it's going to be difficult to comment off the top of my head on these players. But yeah, those are the guys who stood out to me. That was what we saw from the Canucks scrimmage last night. Obviously, you know, this is the last one before the season starts, I believe. We are not going to get anything else, I'm pretty sure, so what we have as our final roster most likely would have been dictated by the previous practices and by what we saw in this recent scrimmage. So tell me in the comments below what you thought about it if you watched it. Also talk to me in the comments, are you ticked off that the Toronto Maple Leafs have that overall advantage when it comes to TV distribution? Because we did say it at the beginning of the video. Toronto, the Leafs, they had the Sportsnet, the TSN feed. It was a full-on game-like atmosphere where they broadcasted their scrimmage. The Canucks had a Twitter broadcast that wasn't working for the first period, and that didn't have a scoreboard or anything. Sure, it was awesome watching Brendan Batchelor do the call and everything, but are you jealous of the Maple Leafs is what I'm asking. Also, tell me in the comments if you made it to the end. Cole Harbour, because, hey, I'm not really thinking about anything else. We're thinking about Cole Lind a little bit. Yeah, Cole Harbour. Comment down below if you made it to the end of this video for a chance to be featured in the next Canucks video. Hope you enjoyed this video. Show us the line on. And bye.